What's up, guys? It's your pal, the Mothman 491 here with another episode of Hard Luck Real Talk, where you get the realest talk on the internet. I'm here with my boys at Man of Bing and at the Steelers 8034. What's up, guys?
What's up?
We're here to talk to you today a little bit about performance-enhancing drugs and how it's affecting the NFL and other sports across the world. I'd like to start off this. I'd love to start off this podcast by saying thank you guys for watching the previous podcast. If you haven't caught that, feel free to check that out on our channel. Or you can check that out on my channel at Mothman491, or you can look up the Hard Luck Gaming channel and catch it there. This video will actually be uploaded to my channel and the Hard Luck Gaming channel. These guys are my teammates
SoundCloud
in Hard Luck Gaming, and it will also be up on SoundCloud when the audio has been downloaded. But today, guys, we're going to get into some performance-enhancing drugs and see kind of how everybody feels about the situation going on in the NFL right now. We've been talking a lot lately this week over the course of the last week that the Al Jazeera report that named guys like Peyton Manning, Mike Neal, free agent, Clay Matthews and Julius Peppers, teammates on the Green Bay Packers, and James Harrison of the Steelers. Now, the report's indicating that these guys all used HGH or other performance-enhancing drugs, and we'd like to talk to you a little bit about that today because we feel like there's some misconceptions when it comes to this situation. Steelers, since you're obviously a Steelers fan, how do you feel about the James Harrison situation?
All right, so I'm just gonna lay it on you guys here. So if you do not want to be here for some major yelling, click off the podcast. All right, so James Harrison has been given multiple random PED tests for the past couple of months. He's been taking them. He stopped because it's honestly getting ridiculous at this point. There's an article that comes out from Al Jazeera, the same people who did the Peyton Manning false accusations, that say that James Harrison, Julius Peppers, Mike Neal, and Clay Matthews have all been using PEDs. And not only was it false the first time when they decided they wanted to follow some random TMZ BS Middle Eastern news outlet, now they're going to want to follow it again, even though the first time they had some false reports. There had been no substantial reason to investigate any of these players at all. They're doing this without probable cause, and apparently in the NFL that's okay. It's okay, apparently.
I'm going to add on that. So, is it me or does it just seem like they picked the guy that works out the most, James Harrison, who I've seen multiple times on Instagram with his workout videos. The strongest guy, Clay Matthews, the dude's fucking ripped. He's strong as hell. The oldest dude, Peyton Manning, whatever. And then they had, Chargers, Gary Neal or whatever in there, too?
No, Mike Neal's a free agent right now.
Oh, well, Mike Neal. But he still, they picked, the most suspect guys to, make steroids.
Here's my thing about it. They're not picking on anybody, super popular. James Harrison's known throughout the league to be a heavy hitter, to be a guy that nobody really likes because of how hard he plays football. And then you've got guys like Gronkowski and J.J. Watt and Cam Newton, who are all very popular players, but none of these guys were suspected of performance-enhancing drugs. Look at how much of a monster J.J. Watt is. Look at how much of a monster Rob Gronkowski is. Cam Newton is 6'5" and 250.
And it seems like they want a certain head of NFL legends, fucking Cam Newton, Rob Gronkowski, J.J. Watt. They're all good people, you know what I mean?
Exactly. No, they can't be tainted.
If
Al Jazeera...
You never have a guy like Josh Gordon. You never have James Harrison. You never have a guy like, LeGarrette Blount, Le'Veon Bell, because they're not a good look for the NFL because of their drug tests.
Here's the thing. If Al Jazeera put out a report to add onto that, Gronkowski, J.J. Watt, they already did Peyton Manning, Josh Norman, they're doing PEDs, they're doing all this, they're doing that and that. All these most popular players in their positions. If they said that, if they put a report out about that, say this report about James Harrison, all these people did not exist, and say the report instead would have been about Gronkowski, Watt, Norman, a ton of those popular players, they would not have fucking taken it seriously. And their excuse would have been, well, their first report about Peyton Manning wasn't serious, so we're not going to take this seriously. Even though right now they're investigating just.
Well, here's
the
my
players
thing:
that
is
are
like
in
so many times you've seen TMZ in these ESPN reports where they're like TMZ was the first to notify anybody, and then the report turns out to be completely false. I feel like this kind of falls in line with the whole Al Jazeera report because it's basically the same kind of like it's almost like reading the National Enquirer and taking it to heart. These sites feed off drama. If they don't have drama, if they don't create their own drama, they don't sell papers, they don't sell, radio contracts, they don't sell TV contracts. They don't make money. So what they do is, I feel like they go in and they accuse people of these things, and then they say, well, we're going to cover it, we're going to be the first to break the story. People are like, well, if we go to Al Jazeera's website, if we go to TMZ's website, we're going to get all the news before everybody else does.
Yeah,
and that's their selling point right now is that, let's blame all these unpopular players and get a bunch of shit out there and then, stuff like that. Because, let's be honest, Peyton Manning's one of the greatest, he's probably the greatest quarterback of all time, statistically. And so when you attack somebody like him who's retiring or maybe not as good as he used to be, a lot of people don't like Peyton Manning. I mean, almost none of these guys that they've named have been like your big, like J.J. Watt, who's like the face of the league right now on defense.
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski, who's the face of the offense for the NFL. I mean, these guys are on commercials. They're on the cover of video games. They're TV spots, promos. I mean, they're legitimately just some of the most popular players in the league. And it's just, to me, it feels like Al Jazeera's and the TMZs of the world feed off this drama. And it's it's kind of like the old adage that sex sells. Well, drama sells right now.
Well, think about it. Think about it. What is the number one, like, cause of entertainment in, like, human lives? Like, anguish. Like, they, like, see other people fail in anguish.
Exactly.
Because it makes them feel better about themselves.
People want two things, a hero and a failure.
Here's my thing. Another thing is, if none of these people complied to go to an interview by August 26th, they were going to get suspended anyway, which is fucking bullshit. They should not be forced to go to an interview or whatever because of false accusations. Like, there's literally no basis on this whole entire PED thing. There's no fucking solid facts. There's no solid information.
Well, that's why the Peyton Manning thing was let go, because they had no solid information about it.
Honestly, and Roger Goodell at this point has too much power, and he needs to be kicked out. He needs to be kicked out.
See, that's another thing I wanted to talk about, because in all honesty, Roger Goodell, after the Tom Brady decision to give him a 4-game suspension, even though regardless whether he did it, regardless of that, he was put through a court case and won, and because Roger Goodell is a big childish baby, he didn't want Brady to go unpunished, so he appealed it.
Here's
the Adrian Peterson thing, where Adrian Peterson got in trouble for the child abuse and got suspended or whatever. It's this, the NFLPA has basically opened the door for Roger Goodell to have all this power, and it's caused a problem.
Unless
think about it. Before this whole Tom Brady thing, everyone thought Goodell was a joke for a commissioner anyways, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So he needed this whole case to get his
role changes and shit.
Back.
Why is Ray Rice out of the league and Greg Hardy was allowed to play last year?
100% yes, amen.
Here's what I don't get. I don't believe the owners should be able to have like a whatever vote they need to have to get him out of the commissioner's spot. But the people need to be heard, like people who watch and are fans. If people start leaving, they're gonna make a fucking change.
Here's my thing. I feel like
if they want to make money, you know what they could do? A fucking NFL commissioner vote, like the presidential vote. They would make a shit ton of money off of that.
They probably would.
Here's my thing. What they need to do is they need to and I'm not saying player strike or team strike or whatever, they need to go in and be like, listen, Roger Goodell has had too much power for way too long. We have not been able to protect our players as well as we should be able to because of the constraints of the fact that they went out and got a court case to beat these things that they're trying to win. And I feel like the NFLPA isn't represented well enough in the fact that Roger Goodell has basically taken the CBA and wiped his ass with it.
I mean, I see where you're going with it, but my big problem with that is it's going to end up just like the 2012 season where there was the lockout, but it's a different reason. Obviously, the one was because of the refs, and I'm saying this time, if the teams go on strike or whatever, or if teams don't want to play, or if teams want to whatever, even if one team doesn't want to do it, like there will be a lockout. I mean, they can't play if one team's not gonna. If one team's not gonna play, I honestly think multiple teams aren't gonna play if it ends up coming to that. But I don't. My thing would be I don't want it to end up coming to a lockout.
Here's my thing that bothers me about it. I feel like Roger Goodell is forcing these guys to come in and meet with them. I mean, what is a meeting gonna do? Are you gonna be like, I met with you in person. I saw it in your eyes. You're a PED user. Oh, I could tell in the inflection in your voice that you're a PED user. That's bullshit. None of those meetings will do anything.
And you know what pisses me off?
Anything is if they pop dirty, and if they don't pop dirty, then you can't fuck with them. You can't suspend them for nothing. They're doing nothing. They're doing nothing wrong.
And even if somebody gets popped dirty out of this, why isn't Roger Goodell getting any shit? Like, you're literally, there was no probable cause, but some fucking bullshit ass news outlet in the Middle East about how people take PEDs. Like, the Peyton Manning thing, like I said already, that came out bullshit. It wasn't even close to being true. And now this.
And here's my thing, too. I feel like steroid use in football is way more rampant than people think. And, I mean, look at Sean Merriman. Didn't he get caught, like, twice for PED use? And another thing I want to kind of take a look at is, like, how reputable really is Al Jazeera. They're based in the Middle East in the capital city of Qatar. And, I mean, that's not saying that they should be downplayed or anything, but if you look at some of the controversies they've been involved with because of their news coverage, they got kicked out of the New York Stock Exchange. NASDAQ kicked them out of the stock exchange. They've had multiple countries file lawsuits and everything else against them. There's been a lot of controversy from that section, and we're not a very popular country in the Middle East in general.
No.
And for a chance to show off that American athletes are doping and cheating and all kinds of things, I feel like that's just an opportunity for Al Jazeera to capitalize on that and make more money on that.
You know what pisses me? You know what pisses me off before I even goes? You know what pisses me off about this is how much of the media makes the biggest deal out of this. Like, I get it, their job is to report stuff, but they're taking this like it's God's truth. Like the Peyton Manning thing, I never stop hearing about that. Every day I wake up, oh, Peyton, HGH, investigation. Like this, I'm getting a notification every day. If I'm watching Sports Center, that's all I see. It's like it's getting ridiculous and it's getting out of hand. And I'm telling you, if they don't do something soon about Roger Goodell's power, the league is going to become way worse than it already is. And to add on to it, he needs to be able to not make as many rule changes with the game as well as making all these fucking decisions about who's doing what and getting suspended.
Well, and on top of that, I mean, in baseball, look at that report that came out with like 150 players on it. And MLB took that to heart, saying that all these guys have tested dirty for steroids. And then, for example, and I'm a Red Sox fan, so I may be biased here, but David Ortiz was named in that report saying he popped dirty. Every so often he's tested by the MLB, and they don't tell him. It's a random drug test, and yet every time he passes it. He's never been caught with a blood filter He's never been caught with, estrogen blocking pills or in his system. He's never been caught popping steroids or anything else.
But yeah, that's the same thing.
But now here's the thing: these players that are getting named in these reports, there's an unwritten rule in baseball and football and probably other sports too, where performance-enhancing drug users, despite how good they may be, whether they're Hall of Famers or not, are not allowed to be in Hall of Fame in their sports. And I think for guys that have never popped dirty except for a false report are getting a bad rap, like your David Ortiz's, who aren't probably going to make it into the Baseball Hall of Fame because of that report. People will always associate him with steroids.
It pisses me off, too, because I can see James Harrison being in David Ortiz's place. Like, how many times has James Harrison posted on Twitter where he's been randomly given a drug test or PED test and drug test? Like, I've seen it tons, and he talks about it all the time, and it's just ridiculous. It's honestly getting so out of control. People are not going to start watching, and I mean, like I said, there's going to have to be a change of commissioner, or there's going to have to be a change about how much power Roger Goodell has.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like, and here's my thing about baseball. I don't think that if you have taken steroids and you lie about it and then you get caught again, I definitely don't think you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I think the Hall of Fame should be reserved for people of character, that not only, there's the statistical standpoint of, 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, certain amount of RBIs, innings pitched, strikeouts, wins, losses, stuff like that. I understand the statistical standpoint, but to me, I feel like they are. If you're an asshole, like you're Ryan Braun's and you're Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, but here's the thing: steroids don't make you see the ball better.
They're right. Yeah, you're right.
Steroids don't make you become a better hitter or become a better fielder. And here's the thing: the fucking Hit King is banned because he bet on a few games, even though he was a coach. He bet on his team winning every night. It's not like he bet on his team losing certain nights and winning certain nights. He was betting on the win. So it's basically like motivating you to do a better job.
You're right. You're right all about the steroids and whatnot. But listen, literally, it's like it said, it's a performance enhancer. It doesn't make. You're right. It doesn't make you see the ball.
Yeah, but who came up with that label? Anyone could just say, "Oh, it's performance enhancing," but they don't look at the actual science behind it.
Well, and here's my thing too. Like, if you can't hit,
you can't tell me Alex Rodriguez would be a better player if he never used steroids than he is now.
There's no guarantee.
They played the same amount of games without the suspensions, and one version he played with PEDs, and the other version he didn't. Tell me he would be better.
He started way back when he was still with the Rangers, because they tracked his steroid use with his statistics back then, and it correlates pretty well.
Barry Bonds was a 5-tool player before he started hitting the roids. He just became a DH after he started hitting the roids.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, the reason that happens is
he would have had a better career.
Yeah, but you don't understand. Like, they get so much shit or attention or they get suspended and they get shit for it, and that's why they start performing less. I'm saying without the suspensions and all that, steroids definitely help you perform better. Like I said, they don't. Like you said,
it makes you stronger. It makes you gain muscle mass.
I know that, but they wouldn't ban PEDs in every
especially at a sport like baseball.
But they wouldn't ban PEDs they wouldn't ban PEDs in virtually every sport, even like anything, if it didn't help you do anything.
Here's my thing, and I agree with Keelan here a little bit, but I also agree with Michael. My thing is, like, if you can't hit a curveball, steroids will not do anything for that.
Agreed.
If you have a shitty swing and can't hit the damn ball, steroids.
Yeah, but during the MLB, they're not going to have a shitty swing.
Here's my example. You could put a fucking muscular ass. We'll put James Harrison in the box against fucking Garrett Cole and tell me if he's going to hit a home run just because he's.
Because James Harrison doesn't play baseball though. You're putting a football player up against.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they make it seem like if you take steroids, you're automatically the best fucking baseball player in the world.
I'm talking about if you take steroids and you've been playing baseball your whole life and you're in the MLB, it does help you perform.
I know, but they hold them to a standard like, all the work you did up until now, fuck all that.
I didn't say fuck all that.
Well,
I'm
here's
saying,
my
like,
thing, though. They are basically saying fuck all that because if they were that good before, why did they need the steroids?
They ruined their reputation and they're not legit. That's why I think Alex Rodriguez should not be in the Hall of Fame.
That's what I'm saying. You could put James Harrison in the box and he's not going to turn into Barry Bonds and hit fucking 750 fucking home runs.
But we know that.
Just because he's strong.
But he doesn't play baseball. That's what I'm saying. It's like even if
we're talking about performance enhancers, baseball players are still known to use pine tar.
You can't say you can't.
But listen, they don't let you use pine tar, but they have a rosin bag behind the mound. Come on.
Yeah, well, honestly, if I want, I'd rather have the pitcher have that than pine tar on my bat.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like they only let certain performance enhancers in the game.
I don't think that honestly, if a pitcher gets better grip on the ball, I'm fine with it. Like, because I don't want to be.
People get tossed out and banned because they have pine tar. Michael Pineda.
It doesn't really do anything though.
Michael Pineda.
But seriously, that's what I'm saying. Why do they allow certain performance enhancers? They make you get a better grip on the ball, so you can throw the ball harder.
Because one's something that you inject into your body and can have harmful effects.
That's why they have the union.
What?
I just feel like I get both of your points and I agree with both of your points, but I think that steroids is something that, like, okay, let's look at MMA. If you take a 240-pound man, put him on steroids, and he becomes a 265-pound man that can hit like a Mack truck, you can kill somebody.
Yeah, but like in any sport, you know the risk going in. You know you're possibly, and they make fucking hats now that protect you from that shit.
But here's the thing: if you're already somebody that could, knock somebody out, you're a big guy, whatever, and you take steroids, you're increasing the chance for injury to other fighters.
Here's for the steroids, like, or you
here's
just
what I'm saying. It's like,
shit.
if Keelan, if the majority of people use PEDs, would you agree that they're good? The majority of people.
Here's the thing. If you let everyone in the league take them and just take a ban off of them, then you have no complaints, and everyone's going to be at the same level. Then they're not
right, but that's taking the legitimacy out of the sport. Like, that's taking the complete your personal skill.
I'm not saying make PEDs legal, but it's like any other drug. Like, people do it because it's like, oh my god, I can get caught, but if I don't get caught, I'll be the best baseball player ever.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, they would not ban PEDs in virtually every sport if it did not help you perform better.
Well, here's my thing. If it didn't help you perform, why do people do it?
Here's my point. They let certain game enhancers in, like fucking rosin bags and pine tar in the back. Like,
but you can't control
their guidelines of what performance enhancers are.
Yeah, but the thing about it is it's a ball, and you're not going to be able to throw a perfect pitch every time, even if you have it. If you're taking steroids, it doesn't.
Steroids don't make you throw a perfect pitch. You shit.
I didn't say that was going to. I didn't say that. I'm saying, like, when you're talking about the bag, like, it's not going to just make you throw a perfect pitch every time because you have better grip on the ball.
No.
I'm saying steroids are performance enhancers. It's in the name. They're performance enhancers. I'm telling you.
A performance enhancer doesn't mean it fucking enhances every part of your fucking body.
I know that. I'm saying you're taking me the wrong way here. It's literally, you can look at every baseball player who's been famous for taking PEDs or any fucking sport. It doesn't matter. And look how great their career was.
They're almost prototypically power hitters, too.
Well, how do you know? I'm not saying way back as like Babe Ruth, but how do you know guys in like the 40s and 50s when this shit started coming out weren't using it, and then
they probably were. They probably did.
Exactly. So the fucking history of baseball is tainted anyways. Look at all the fucking home run kings.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't mean they should like stop like taking stances on PEDs just because.
How do you sift out who's legit and who's not? Because there's no documented history of it.
Because nowadays you have tests that are way more easier or like way 100% more proof that somebody's taking PEDs. Back in the 50s or the 40s or the 60s or whatever, you can't tell me that their tests were like going to be 100% perfect. Was there even a ban back then?
Well, and here's my thing though: steroids have only been around for like maybe the last 30 years. They really haven't been.
They weren't popular. and nobody knew about them.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like
as big as it is today.
It's kind of like a drug that they just come out with, you know.
Dude, cocaine was legal in like fucking all the way up to like the fucking 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
And first of all, to rebut Alex's point, the steroids were invented in 1930.
Yeah, I know, but they weren't popularized, and nobody tested.
I know that because there's no media outlet.
They didn't have any tests back then. They didn't know if somebody was taking steroids.
Because there was no ban on it. So why would you drug test someone?
They didn't have any tests that could prove that they were taking steroids.
So it just means it didn't happen. There's no proof.
I didn't say it didn't happen. I'm saying, the conversation is about whether performance-enhancing drugs help you, make you a better player or not. They do.
They do.
What?
I fucking told you. I don't think they do.
If they don't, then why would people take them and risk their careers?
Here's the thing, too. There's also multiple types of steroids. There's something that can make you lose weight. There's something that make you gain weight. Because some people will inject themselves and then go for a run, and then the fat just melts off.
Yeah. But like I said, if it didn't help you, you wouldn't take it and risk your career.
Exactly.
Because it's illegal. Most of the guys do it because it's illegal. Like
if you're making $40 million a year, you would take it because it's illegal and you can risk your career.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense.
What money did you use to buy them in the first place?
But it doesn't matter. Why would you do it and risk your career and your fame?
It's like Sam Hurd when he got busted for selling weed playing for the Bears.
Hey, I could take this shot and get I might get caught, or I might become the best fucking baseball player ever, or I take this shot and maybe get caught, but people still like me because they remember me when I was really fucking good, or I don't take this shot and I have a mediocre career and no one fucking remembers my name.
But no, the reason they take shots is
hold on, Michael. Okay,
what?
So you just said a few minutes ago hold on. You just said a few minutes ago that steroids don't have that much of an impact on your performance. But right there, you're saying it's the difference between a 700 home run guy and a 400 home run guy. So I mean, what is your real stance here? Because honestly, if you're gonna say that they don't have that much of an impact,
because it could be the illusion that it makes you better. It makes you stronger. I guess it could make you.
But it makes you more of a power hitter. What is the key word in power hitter? Power. If you have more strength, you have more power.
He's never been busted for PEDs except for Adderall, but he fucking jacks 50, 60 home runs a year sometimes.
That's cool, but you look at guys like Barry Bonds or Alex Rodriguez when they were in their prime.
But no one thought A-Rod was doing them. Remember when everyone was like, "Oh, A-Rod's not doing them. Like he's gonna break Barry Bonds' record and it's gonna be legit this time." Like no one thought.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is like Barry Bonds, one of the most famous MLB players. What?
He hit in the 70s, and you don't know if they were popular by then or not. That's almost 40 years.
I'm not arguing whether they were popular. I'm arguing whether PEDs help you perform better or not. Like I said, people would not risk their careers, put them on the line, all the money.
There's no ban back then, so they're not putting anything on the line.
Now they are.
Yeah, now they are. I'm not talking about 40. I don't give a shit.
I see a lot less guys doing it. But the thing is,
the reation why we're talking about PEDs is because of all the articles lately and all the fucking hype around PEDs lately. That's why we're talking about it.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
I wasn't even alive fucking 40 years ago. How the fuck would I like...
But, you gotta understand what I'm saying. Like, so, if this guy doesn't do it on drugs, say he's, there's no steroids involved, then everyone could still be bashing him saying, oh, it's illegitimate. Like me, Hank Aaron, I don't know if he was taking steroids. It's 40 years after the drug is invented. Someone could have fucking done the research to say, hey, maybe this will help me.
Yeah, but you think PEDs don't affect you. Why do you care if he took it anyway?
But here's the thing. It has to have been introduced beforehand because the drug doesn't just catch popularity out of no reason. Like,
I know, but why do you care if people did it 40, 50 years ago if it doesn't help you? You've told me PEDs does not make you a better player. It doesn't do anything. But I don't know why you care if people did it back then. Like, oh, Hank Aaron, one of the best players of all time. If he did PEDs...
Because those guys are in the Hall of Fame. But if someone gets caught today and, there's no possible way...
I agree. Yeah, I know. I agree. I'm just saying...
They're not using performance enhancers like the old guys. The whole history of baseball is tainted, dude.
I know that, but I'm talking...
Back to, 1911 with the whole fucking white or fucking Black Sox scandal.
I know that. I'm talking about whether PEDs are making you perform better.
I don't think here's the way I think of it. I don't think they make you perform better. I think they put lives at jeopardy, like people's well-being's at jeopardy now because all of a sudden they wanted to ban it when there wasn't a ban before. So why ban it now?
Because they, like I said, before the ban, they weren't as popular and nobody would really know and really care.
What's the factual evidence behind that?
You want to talk about why are PEDs banned now?
Because you can't say it wasn't popular if you don't know.
Well, I'm saying they wouldn't add a ban on it because nobody... Okay, let me ask you a question, Keelan.
Michael.
If you keep saying that PEDs do not help your performance, but why are they banned in every sport?
Tell me something. How have businesses been in production since, like 1912, 1920, 1930? Because after a while, people start, figuring out what you're doing. 40 years after the drugs released, I'm sure there's plenty of people who want to do research on it that figured out about it, and word spread.
Okay, first of all, I'll tell you about how word didn't spread as quickly as it would now. First of all, there was no internet back then. There were no cell phones back then.
I never said there was cell phones. I said research. I said
that's
go down to a library and pick up a medical book.
Okay, so you're telling me that everybody would go and pick up a fucking medical book and steroids, dude?
No, people back then fucking read a lot.
And everybody would know in the MLB?
Libraries, because obviously people go to the fucking
And everybody in the MLB would? No?
No,
I'm just saying that
PEDs... Think about this. So someone's relative who's maybe like a medical major or something in college goes, hey, this might be a good idea because no one can find out. And then he does it, and then he spreads it to his teammates to the coaches to the managers all over the league after swap talk.
So what's your whole point? Is your whole point that PEDs do not help you perform better, or is your point that people who
they should just be unbanned because you know what? Baseball's history is already fucked with PEDs as it is.
They shouldn't be unbanned. They should not be unbanned because then
it's never going to be broken, dude.
Okay, that's cool, but if you unban PEDs, you're taking all the integrity out of the game and all the talent that's involved.
I agree with Michael on that.
There's no way that should be allowed. Then that would ruin every sport. I would not watch a sport where PEDs are allowed.
Alright, guys. Alright, let's move on here. Now, I'm going to name a few players from baseball, football, whatever, that have been caught with steroids. I want you to tell me whether you think they should be in the Hall of Fame or whether they shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Based on character, performance, or just the use of steroids or whatever. Or even guys that have been caught like Pete Rose, something like that. Alright. Since we said Pete Rose, what do you think? Pete Rose, should he be in the Hall of Fame, yes or no?
Yes.
Did he do steroids?
No.
I'm asking, did he do steroids?
No, I don't think so. As far as I know, no.
If he wasn't popped for steroids, yes, he should be in the Hall of Fame, yes.
He bet on getting money, man.
Here's my thing, though. He didn't do steroids, but he did get caught betting on his own team as a coach and a player. To me, that's still influencing your decisions.
Wait, so you're a Red Sox fan. You want Ortiz to be in the Hall of Fame, but you don't want Pete Rose because he bet on his own team to win every night?
I didn't say I didn't want Pete Rose. I think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
But to be fair, David Ortiz has never popped dirty other than that report, and it's about as credible as an Al Jazeera or a TMZ report.
Well, I'm just saying.
So I'm just saying, too, leave Poppy out of this. Anyway, okay. Alex Rodriguez.
Fuck
no.
You both say no? I would agree with that. I would say no as well, and I'll tell you why. I think that if you're going to be as much of a fucking asshole as A-Rod has been over the last, 6 years, you don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't care what your fucking numbers are. You're a piece of shit.
The fact that he was like, I won't do it again, I swear. The minute he fucking turned his back, he was sticking the needle right in his fucking thigh.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm kind of the neutral here because I like baseball. I play it, I watch it, but I don't really follow it as much. But I'm not I don't hate the Yankees. But yeah, Rodriguez should not be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Mark McGwire.
Did Mark McGwire do steroids?
No, he got busted.
He got busted for steroids?
Like Clemens. Clemens shouldn't be either.
Yeah, Clemens shouldn't be either.
Did McGuire get busted for steroids?
Yeah, I got one for you guys. Pedro Martinez.
Yes.
Well,
No.
technically he didn't get busted.
Wait, before getting fucking inducted.
Technically,
Martinez?
he just
No,
admitted
he's
to
talking
doing
about
it.
Mark McGuire.
He just
I know.
admitting to doing it. He was never. Jose Canseco ratted him out, and he had finally admitted that he did it.
Well, if he admitted it, he probably
Sammy
did.
Sosa.
Here's
Did
the
he
thing,
do
though. You
something?
got the guys that went in front of Congress and lied about it, like McGuire, Clemens, Palmeiro.
And they shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
What about fucking Andy Pettit?
Andy Pettit was recovering from an injury, and it was prescribed by a doctor. I'm not a Yankees fan, but that's the truth. That's what happened.
Truth.
And when they tested him, he still had traces of it in his system from the injury recovery. Because it was human growth hormone, and that's what helps recover from injuries faster.
Was he
Well, it's still illegal.
was he still using it like before he played and when he played?
No.
You're telling me if he said, like, think about this. If you go to a doctor's office and you take a drug that's illegal for your job, and you say, oh, but the doctor said I had to have it, they're going to tell you, well, weren't there other optional routes instead of drugs?
Yeah, but what's the
What
drug
if
that
there's
what's the drug that you get fired for doing?
You're not supposed to play anymore. That's why people retire early, because they're not supposed to fucking they can't take something illegal that's going to put them back on the field.
Yeah,
If you're taking- if you're
somebody
taking
that can't have that kind of luxury because they don't make millions of dollars.
If you're taking HGH to help you perform better in a sport as opposed to recover, then yes, you should not be in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to put it that simple.
All right, I can understand that.
See, it's just like you can put me down for like all these Hall of Famers. If they did PEDs and they were caught for it, they shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. If they didn't, they probably should, depending on the situation. I got here.
Yeah, because typically these steroid users have been very low on the ballot, and statistically they should be first ballot Hall of Famers. Roger Clemens should probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Mark McGuire, single season home run king, until Barry Bonds broke it.
Hey, what about Kurt Schilling?
Kurt Schilling, he never got caught with steroids.
What happened?
I thought he did. The whole bloody sock.
No, the sock thing was because he got surgery.
What about Kurt Schilling just being a fucking asshole?
Kurt Schilling is an asshole, but that's not the point. He never got
Hey,
caught for
Steve,
steroids.
you're a Boston fan. I'm a Philly fan. We can at least agree on one thing.
That's true. If Steelers was an Arizona Diamondbacks fan, we'd all be good.
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Pittsburgh
Baseball.
baseball has been really good for the last 20 years.
So you'd
Yeah,
be
it
a Tim,
has.
so you'd be a Tim
Bet your
Wakefield
ass it
fan,
has.
which also would be okay with me. I just want to say, fuck Randy Johnson.
I just want to say,
'Cause he used to beat us a lot.
Wait, what? Oh, Randy. Okay.
He killed a bird.
I love Randy Johnson, dude.
He
I
killed
mean, in
a
general,
bird once.
fuck Al Jazeera.
Heard that.
Fuck TMZ, fuck Al Jazeera, fuck all the other fucking drama bullshit, fucking drama alert. Hi, I'm Killer Keemstar. What's going on? Yeah, fuck those people.
Alright, guys.
Yeah, basically just fuck Roger Goodell in general.
Pretty much.
Well-
Alright, guys. Well, I'd say this is all the time we have for you tonight. We had a pretty interesting conversation.
Fucking
Some
amen.
good arguments tonight. I think we had a pretty big conversation about this.
I'm surprised Keelan and I made it through the first episode without arguing. At least we got it through a whole episode.
Fuck you,
Hey.
Michael. I still hate you.
Arguments
fuck.
is what people pay to see, right?
4-time.
Calm down.
Fucking back-to-back World War II champs, boy.
Back-to-back World War II. There
Stay
was
awesome, America.
One World War II.
Alright. Well, like I said, this is all the time we got for you guys today. This has been another episode of Hard Luck Real Talk, where you get the realest talk on the internet. I'm here with my boys Mana Bing and the Steelers 8034, and we're calling it a night. Catch you later, guys, and stay awesome. We'll see you in the next podcast.